Good morning from Hunt City Congregational Christian Church. First of all, congratulations to Trenton Miller and Peyton Kraft, who were married yesterday. We wish them well. Jesus told several parables about how men ought always to pray. He taught about persistence in prayer. The story about the man we read a while back who kept knocking on his neighbor's door because he had visitors at midnight and he needed food. He knocked on his neighbor's door. Neighbor was in bed. But he finally, because of his persistence, he got up and gave the man what he needed. Also, the story of the woman, the widow, who kept after a judge asking for justice because she had been wronged. And the judge said, even though I don't fear anyone, this woman, her persistence is bugging me, so I'm going to give her her request. And he heard her case. But there was one example in particular where Jesus taught about persistence in prayer with a real life example. And that's what we're going to read today. Matthew 15, 21 through 28. Then Jesus went out from there and departed to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came from that region and cried out to him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely demon-possessed. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and urged him, saying, Send her away, for she cries out after us. But he answered and said, I was not sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then she came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. And she said, Yes, Lord, yet even the little dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Then Jesus answered and said to her, O woman, great is your faith. Let it be done to you as you desire. And her daughter was healed from that very hour. How many times do you have to ask to convert to Judaism? According to tradition, a rabbi will turn a potential convert away 3 times before allowing him or her to begin the conversion process. The basic idea is that an observant Jewish lifestyle is a lot to take on. So people who want to convert are required to ask multiple times. It shows their determination to make the commitment. Different rabbis do it different ways. One person who was converted to Judaism shared his experience. He said the first step is to call a synagogue and leave a message that you're not Jewish, but you're interested in Judaism and would like to get permission to visit the synagogue. When they accept, you come in and visit once or twice. Then you call the synagogue another time to set up a meeting with the rabbi. If the secretary asks why, you just be honest that you're interested in conversion and you have visited. The rabbi might not call you back, and this is the first of many ways you may be brushed off by him. Call again or try to speak to him at the synagogue. Every rabbi has a slightly different way of doing the rejections or the dissuasions. Some will schedule meetings with you and then cancel, or they will not show up when you arrive. Yes, it's rude, but that's the point. Jews in some regions get a lot of disrespect, and when life is great in one generation, it can quickly turn sour. You are expected to get a taste of what it feels like to show that you can handle it well. Other ways of rejection would be to simply trying to talk you out of it, try to talk you out of converting to Judaism. And a rabbi might even tell you they don't think it's right for you. So you have to ask 3 times. Now, is this carried out in every synagogue? I don't believe so, but this is traditional. This is the traditional way. The way it starts out, you have to show that you're persistent in wanting to convert to Judaism. How does this tie into the scripture we just read? Well, the story also appears in the Gospel of Mark, but I like the Matthew version better because it's more detailed about the rejections. This woman was a Gentile, and she had a daughter who was demon-possessed. Apparently, she had heard that Jesus could heal people. And so Jesus is in the area of Tyre and Sidon, which were predominantly Gentile communities. Why was he there? We'll get to that in a minute. This woman came to intercede on behalf of her daughter, and she shows us what an intercessor does. Her need taught her how to pray. We said, Lord, The disciples said, Lord, teach us to pray. We say, Lord, teach us to pray. And a lot of times need teaches us how to pray. Help me. That's a great prayer. Help me, Lord. First she asked, and then she worshiped Jesus. Her response is interesting because of the rejection Jesus was experiencing from the Jewish leaders. It was as if the woman said, I'm not asking for what belongs to the children of Israel, just the crumbs that they don't want, because Jesus had been rejected by many of the religious leaders. Her response when she says, yet even the little dogs get some of the crumbs that fall from the table, shows her faith. They show her persistence. She wasn't going to leave without getting an answer from Jesus. And he says, woman, great is your faith. I don't know if there are any other times when Jesus said this to another person in the Bible. He did compliment the faith of the Roman centurion who asked Jesus to heal his servant. And he said, I don't know, you don't even need to go, just speak the word. And Jesus commended him for his faith. But here he says, this woman, oh woman, great is your faith. In his commentary, David Guzik says her faith was great even compared to her other virtues. She was humble, she was patient, she was persevering, she loved her child who was sick. Yet Jesus didn't compliment any of those qualities. He complimented her faith. Her faith was great because it was unlikely. No one would have expected someone who wasn't a Jew to trust Jesus this much. Her faith was great because she worshiped Jesus. Even before he answered, she worshiped him. And that's a lesson for us. Her faith was great because it had been tested. We don't know, but it seems like this daughter had been demon-possessed for quite a while. This woman's faith had been tested. Her faith was great because it was clever. She took Jesus' words and used them to respond to him. When she says, even the little dogs get some of the crumbs that fall from the master's table. Her faith was great because it concerned a need right in front of her. Many people have faith for everything except the things that are right in front of them. Her faith was great because it would not give up. We don't read of anything else that Jesus did during this time in the area of Tyre and Sidon, only this one event, this one healing of this demon-possessed daughter. A divine appointment. Jesus went there. He had a divine appointment with this woman, just like he did with the woman at the well, just like he did with Nicodemus at night, just like with you. And just like tradition says a rabbi will reject a Gentile's request to convert to Judaism 3 times or more to see if they're sincere, Jesus rejected this woman's request 3 times. Talking to Jesus is praying. This woman was praying, and her prayer was worship. The first rejection, when she asked him, the first rejection was, he answered not a word. The second one, when she asked again, she worshiped him, and she asked again, please heal my daughter. Please help me. He said, I was not sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that's when the disciples said, send her away. And then the third rejection, Jesus said, it's not good to take the little children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. 3 rejections. She asked, have mercy on me. My need is my daughter's need. She worshiped him. She answered by turning his words around. Lord, even the little dogs benefit from a few of the crumbs that fall from the master's table. Lord, give me some crumbs. Now think about the 3 rejections and about her persistence in the face of those rejections. And think about how Jewish rabbis reject initial requests by Gentiles to convert to Judaism, and contrast that to how we try to get converts to Christianity. We practically beg people to get saved. We give an altar call at the end of the service, a chance to respond, the invitation to believe. I remember times at church camp where we would have marathon altar calls, singing and pleading with the kids to accept Jesus, to choose to be a follower of Jesus. It was almost as if we're trying to wear them down. And I remember back in the day when I was young, when it was the days of hellfire and brimstone preaching to try to scare people into becoming disciples. We ask and beg and scare people into the faith, and I'm wondering if we should be more like the Jewish rabbis. We're called to make disciples, not to compromise the story in any way. Someone wrote some time ago, maybe this is why our churches are filled with lukewarm people. Are you lukewarm about your faith? I wonder if this is why we see kids who get saved at church camp but never go to church afterwards. The love of God is amazing. His mercy endures forever. God is love, and whoever calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. But what else did Jesus say? He said, deny yourself, pick up your cross, and follow me. Maybe we shouldn't be begging people to join. Maybe we should be telling them what the cost of discipleship is. Following Jesus is about surrendering self to him. God, help us. Jesus said to pray for more workers for the harvest, not more converts, but more workers, more disciples, people who will be committed to the cause. This woman was committed to the cause of seeing her daughter healed, and she was persistent in her prayer to the Lord. Perhaps we should learn from that persistence of this lady. God bless you. Hope you have a great week, and stay in the Word and keep praying.